All right, guys. So this dude makes most of his videos or all of his videos from his bed. Like he's actually a psycho. This guy literally only games from his bedroom. Really weird. Really, really strange. I've never seen anything like it, bro. W stream. He streams from his bedroom. He games from his bedroom. Everything is done from his bedroom. I don't get it, bro. I actually just don't understand. Anyway, he made a video on the state of video, and so I figured I'd watch it. Somebody suggested it.
Definitely the path that they're going down currently, especially with the progression system, is a very, it's like a tightrope. You know, it's a very sketchy kind of path that they're going down. And
okay, guys,
I don't know.
He's talking really slowly. We're going to try something new. We're going to try a 1.5 playback speed.
I don't know. And I don't know how they could even reverse this either. Because now everything's literally crons. And I know they got to make money, but they should just make more cooler cosmetics.
Where winds meet. Okay? Like, literally, where winds meet. Has the right idea. I'm just saying. Like, BDO, every time they're like, oh, we have to monetize more. More pay to win. More pay to win. Add more pay to win. Make a new backpack in the game that they have to buy so they can get 100 mastery while they do alchemy. Give them a backpack for fishing. Give them make a Carrick skin, but like make it like required for bartering. Literally.
So it's gonna be interesting to see in the next few months, especially with the upcoming Heidel or Calphion Ball and kind of what they have planned.
I think that the Calphion Ball. You want my prediction for the Calphion Ball? The new class and two things. One of two things is going to be true. Either one, they're going to pat themselves on the back for a job well done and give them a roundabout, like, we're listening to your feedback and we're so happy that you guys play our game and support us. Like, you guys have heard this before, you know, like where they literally just suck their own dick, but then like low-key, they try to be like, it's all you guys, but also, oh yeah, we're so good, you know? Or they're going to suck our dicks. So either they're going to be sucking their own dicks or they're going to suck our dicks. Okay? Either they legitimately don't change shit and they just keep patting themselves on the back and it's just all bullshit quality of life changes and they just keep like sucking their dicks the whole time. Or they apologize and they start fixing shit. And they sit down and they're like, all right, so we f***ed up. Okay? And like we fixing it. Here's what we're gonna do to fix it, etc. And I'll be honest with you, they were halfway to that last year. Last year they sat down at the Calphion Ball. They said, Jae-hee Kim who? Wansu sat down on that couch for the first time, much to the couch's dismay. And he said, guys, we're really sorry. We understand that PvP was a big part of your game, and we f***ed it up. We're going to take meaningful strides at fixing that. And we were like, okay, we like the new guy. And then they didn't do anything. Well, they gave us, okay, correction. They gave us the old node war system back, right? Which was what they thought we wanted, which was true, right? But then they just didn't do anything else the rest of the year, basically, right? And then they proceeded to shit on the PvEers all year. So 2024 was the year, okay, I'm just going to write it on the screen. 2024. Perlibus's business strategy. PvPers. Okay. 2025. Business strategy. PvEers. Okay, because now we got all weekly gated. Like, even the PvEers can't just PvE all the time like they want to, right? Because the Agris and the weekly gated Adana content, right? And all the other gated shit. And no group, like they took away group grind zones, right? And then now 2026. Life skillers are shaking. Life skillers are shaking right now, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. Get ready to rumble, boys. Oh man, bro. And now we need the old node war back on. Now we just need the old node war backs with the tweaks that don't promote gay ass politics among guilds. No. Old node war system. We want gay ass politics between guilds because then that creates a bunch of gay ass GVGs, and we love each other in the ass at a GVG. I don't know a single player in Family that doesn't enjoy another dude in the ass at an open world guild versus guild. Straight up. We love dudes. We love dudes. That's just the way that it goes. Now, that being said, if they don't fix this, they promised to fix it at the 2024 ball. At the December 2024, they promised to fix this. What we got for throwing a fit was the old node war system back. But we didn't get the 2-hour node wars back, and we didn't get anything after that. Everything else, they have not done anything all year to node wars. Basically, nothing. Other than, rotate the regions, which is what they're supposed to do, and then, watch fort health when it bugs, which is what they're supposed to do, right? PvEers, that's why I said, guys, now's the time. This is why No Pearl November is extremely important. Don't spend money right now. We are at a very critical junction. If Perlibus can see their revenue stream, if they're looking at their revenue for October, November, and they see decline, steep decline, they're gonna go into it, and they're gonna go into the ball and be like, okay, we've got to fix shit. Okay. If they get a normal revenue stream, that's gonna give them feedback to say, okay, we can continue PvEers and PvPers, and everyone's okay with this. Okay. That's just the way that it goes. This is the time when you got to show them what you mean business. Do not spend money on the game in November. Don't do it. Be strong. Every time you want to spend money, jack off to your Dark Knight, get that post-nut clarity, come back, talk to me later. Honestly, if we don't see what we want at the Calpheon Ball, I'm doing No Pearl 2026. I'm just saying, if we don't see what we want at the Calpheon Ball, it's No Pearl 2026 from me. I don't know about you guys. That's how it is with all major corpos, but people never vote with their wallet. They just don't have the discipline. Last year we had the discipline. Did you see the quarterly earnings report? Did you see Q3 last year? They were like negative 20% or negative 10%. I bet we can do more damage.
And so I want to go through kind of each point and then go through some of the comments. But yeah, I feel like every few months there's always a post like this. However, I feel like this go around, it's a little bit more relevant because I feel like BDO here recently, it's not dying per se, but it definitely feels like it's a little bit more lonely. And there's
okay. That's a new one. True. From now on, I'm just going to say it's getting lonely, guys. That's what I'm going to say. It's not dying. We're lonely. Yeah. That's what it's lonely.
As many people
In my opinion, I don't think that the player count is suffering on paper. If you don't know anything about BDO, the player count is not doing that badly. But as D Jules correctly, aptly stated, okay, this pie chart represents the 100%, the total players of BDO. Okay. And before, this represented the active players, and this represented the AFK players. Okay, so the inactive players playing the game. But after they buffed fishing, I even had to use a smaller font. This is what they did, right? They took what used to be like this, and they made it that. Okay? So this, and that's why BDO, I feel feels really lonely. And I want to be clear, I don't want to brag, but I was the first person to talk about this. Do you guys not remember me when they buffed AFK fishing way back when? I had that video where I was leaning against the wall in Velia, like, or in Heidel, right over there. And I talked about it. Summit watched that video on stream. And I said, I explained the line of how people quit the game. Because people don't just quit all at once. They just keep going more and more and more AFK, right? And I said that it was concerning that we were concerning all of our, or that we were encouraging all of our players to be AFK. And everyone said, no, it's not going to be a problem. And now we're at the now we're experiencing the after effects of that change. Now we are much more progressed down the line. It's very obvious that we are in a much worse position in terms of an active player base than we were before. Here. I'm just gonna look at Velia. I'm just gonna look at Velia. We did this the other day. I thought it was the scariest thing I've done in a while. Okay, now. Guys, this is Velia in the middle of the day. We've got 1, 2. Got 2 active people, 1 person standing at the marketplace. We'll do a lap around town. Middle of the day, by the way. Do you hear those crows, bro? It's eerie. It's eerie. People are at school and working. Do you think that people who play BDO work and go to school? Think about what you just said for a second. Now, to be clear, he's not wrong. Some people... Oh! That guy's AFK horse training. Yeah, so we have an AFK horse trainer and 2 active players. Okay. That guy's... Yeah, that guy's technically active. And we'll say that guy... Oh! 3 players. That guy's actually moving. The only person actually moving. And that's one of my old dismantled members, by the way. Here we go. This guy's on his way back. He's trading in his fish. He's rank 1 wealth. He's trading in his fish. So the state of this game is right here. That's the state of BDO. That's where everybody's at. Okay. That guy's just watching the stream. This is what our game has become. Right here. That's exactly what I was worried about. Now, in fairness, it used to be that there were a decent amount of AFK fishers in Velia. That was the truth, but it was never like this. Rewind 2 years ago, were there this many AFK fishers in Velia? No, there wasn't even a 1/5 of this standing here. Okay. This is where we're at, and this is just Velia, by the way.
I did my last 3 Adana bosses with the same harmony draft, haha.
There's also... That's crazy. So wait, you've played BDO so little. You did 3 Adana bosses across 3 weeks with 1 drought. Efficiency. I respect it. He's like me for real, bro. Did you pre-download your Where Winds Meet yet? I did. But, like, here's the thing, guys. Like, there used to be a ton of people. Now there's people coming in because they're watching the stream and stuff. But, there used to be a ton of people that used to stand at the storage keeper. There used to be a ton of people that were active, running around town, enhancing, like running back and forth from the storage keeper to the warehouse. There used to be people on dummies. Is there anyone on a dummy? There's 1 person on a dummy now. Right? There's just... This is where we're at. bro. I can check Heidel too real quick. I don't know who's in Heidel. Here we go. Yeah, my femboy. Game is dead. It's not that the game is dead, right? And big supporters of the game will say that, oh, our player count is actually doing pretty well. Oh, it always dips this time of year. But the reason that the game feels dead as shit is because, yes, we're having our normal dip time of the year, like we normally decline around this time of the year, but also we've never had less active players than we do right now. Right? Look, there's in Heidel. This is Heidel right now, guys. There's 2 guys on a dummy. I don't see anyone AFK horse training. No one's at the marketplace. There's nothing going on up here. Usually sometimes there's a CM hanging out up here, but not anymore, I guess. Nobody at the stable keeper. There's nobody down here. Oh, I saw some people over here. Hold on. An active player. And it's a mystic. It's a mystic player. That is... Oh. That was an active player. This person just logged in. So we'll say 3. You run down here. There's 4 people fishing. With 1 person AFK processing. And then 2 people standing at the storage. I remember, like, this is the most active
Sorry
town.
to bring you more bad news. Got some insider info. They will give Penfall God armor, 1 piece, to everyone to make up for the gated content, since you can't sell it and only way up is crons.
I think that people would be like, W, and then they would log in, they would get their armor, and then they'd log out, right? This is the most active town in the entire game, by the way. There's like 3 players here. Okay, that guy's AFK horse training. This is not good. The state of the game... We're down tremendous right now. Okay. The RBF event is going on. People are like, RBF's popping off. I'm like, really? Define popping off. And they're like, we had 40 people in RBF earlier. Now we've got 2 full RBFs. Sweet. We've got 2 full RBFs during the event. Okay, we couldn't even fill 2 full lobbies. Okay? Couldn't even fill 2 full lobbies. Yeah, there's an event going on that is like really good. Like the weekly gives you 300 cron stones. So like everyone should do RBF 1 time. Right? Or like the once per family thing, everyone should do RBF like 1 time. Right? Or it's 500 crons. Yeah. Yeah. And so this is where we're at. Okay? Now, it is true that it's 4 p.m. on a Thursday. So we're not quite at like peak hours right now. But you're coping if you think that this isn't an issue. Right? It's not that we have less players, it's that the players that we do have are all just AFK, right? And every player that we lose is not coming back to the game anymore. It's not like they're just like, oh, yeah, we're still interested in BDO. Most people are just getting less and less interested in the game as we go here. And now we're reaching this point where like it's really difficult to ignore the fact that the game feels really empty. That like that's why Gaming in Bed said it feels lonely here. Yeah, it feels really lonely because you walk around the most populated towns in the entire game and no one is here. Look at this. Right? Like there's like legitimately just like nobody that is actively playing here. Right? And even if there was people here, yeah, like there's that guy right there. I can't even, no, that's the horse trainer. That guy is literally AFK horse training. Like, even if there is people here, you can't even play with them. So like it's a solo game and there's no one playing it but you. That's what it feels like. Right? That's what it feels like. Now there's like a person running around, but again, this is the most active town in the game. What happens if I go to Ailton right now? What happens if I go to Duvenkarun? What happens if I go to Odraxia? What about Musgar? How about Aspercon? How about Altanova? You think anybody's standing in Valencia other than AFK fishing? Like, how about Ancado, right? Part of the big fun of this game was walking around and like meeting people and like the social aspect of the game. Nobody goes to those cities. Well, yeah, but these are the most active cities in the game, right? And I'm showing you how dead the most active cities in the game look right now. And to be clear, it's not technically dead, right? If you like the biggest defenders of the game are just going to do this. Like, oh no, we have tons of players. Look how many players we have. Look how many people are playing. Players. Look how many people are playing. These people are playing. They're playing. Look how many players we have. Wow, they're all playing. We don't have bots. We have AFK. All right. Anyway, that's why the game feels lonely. Our player count is down. It is down. How much it's down by is about a lot. You know, we are here, right? We're down by 22% from August. Right? We're down by 22% and falling. But you could also make the case that it's like this time of year, right? Like this time of year, we always have a decline between balls. And that's a fair thing to say. But the problem is, right now, we have a declining active player base. So like when we lose 5% of our players, and they're all of our active players, the game just feels empty. It feels like there's nothing here. It feels like there's literally nothing going on. And that's why he says he's lonely, is because there's literally no one playing the game. And that's exactly how I feel too. I feel that everyone is playing BDO, right? They're just AFK. Like they're not actually playing the game. And I warned about this months ago, back in June, when they changed AFK fishing. I did say, I think that this is really bad. Nobody wants to believe me, though. Although, actually, you guys a lot of you did. A lot of you did, though. I'm new to the game, downloaded it yesterday. Is it worth getting into now? It is absolutely worth getting into. It's a super fun game. It's just that we're really upset that we should be able to play more of it. That's our problem right now.
Actively playing the game, right? Like if you look at the Steam chart numbers, I mean, obviously we've been declining. And, you know,
wow, when did he make this? 4.4. Now we're at almost 6%. We're at like 5.9, 6% right now. That was yesterday, by the way. That was yesterday. So between yesterday and today, we lost almost 1% of our players. Sure. Okay.
The new expansion came out in August, and you can see, boom, we had 27,000 peak players, and then it's just been gradually declining. And I don't know. I just feel like these numbers
maintenance
aren't maybe the...
Dude, we are 12 hours after the patch came back up. What kind of cope are we on right now?
Most accurate.
We're 12 hours in.
There's a lot of AFK people playing while they're playing other games. So it's hard to tell like how many players are actually actively playing. I still think
we're actually like 8 hours in. So you could say that maintenance is as part of that, but I don't think so.
I think we're in a better spot than what we were, like a year ago? Yeah, like look, 13,000. And I feel like we were even
Most people aren't back from work. It ain't cope, homie. Most people that play this game are already online before they leave for work in the morning. It is absolutely cope. I've been watching this number decline steadily over the last like few weeks. It's just been down, down, down. It started at -1%, then -2%, then -3, then -4, and now we're at -5. Okay. Now we're at -5. And to be clear, we have a juicer login event right now. Remember, our login event is giving us 4,500 cronstones right now if you just log into the game. Still negative.
Or at some point, like,
Still
I guess maybe
negative.
12. Oh, there we go. 10. Yeah, so
it's just cope. It's just people coping. And I said that the people that are going to defend the game are going to say that the player numbers are doing fine. And I would argue that the player numbers are doing fine, right? We've only lost 22% of our players in the last 3 months. That's fine. But also, this is pretty normal with regards to how people respond to the ball. The problem is what we're experiencing is when we lose players, we're losing our active players, like a decent amount of our active players. And so the game feels like a complete ghost town. It feels like there's less people playing BDO actively than there were playing New World. Just being honest.
So compared to last year, we're still doing a little bit better. And I know when the next ball comes, of course, that's going to draw in more hype. I'm sure they're going to go over the new class.
That's just how it feels.
Was it Savior? And that's going to bump up the numbers. But I just feel like as of right now, I just feel like there's not as many active people playing the game. Like even in my guild, like we used to do the Black Shrine Party bosses every week, and we had no issue of getting 5 people.
Same.
But now it's like pulling hair to try to get a full group in our guild, and so now we're getting other people to do it with us.
Yep.
And I think there's multiple reasons with that. People got the new gear. Obviously, it's time gated, so there's only but so much you can do. And I feel like with the new grinding, like with the Agris and the different AP caps, I feel like that's really changed how people do grind now.
Now that the AP caps, like the dust has settled on the AP caps, and I'm somebody that was not a fan of them when they came out. You guys remember I said that I feel like that takes away a lot of the sandbox aspect of the game. I don't really like the direction that they're going with their grinding and stuff like this. I want to convincingly say that I hate it. It has its advantages, right? Like some of the spots were like, oh wow, I feel like I can grind a little bit better, but like it basically has narrowed down where you feel like you can actually grind in the game from like 7 spots to like 2 spots, right? You are now you are limited to like 2 grind zones, maybe 3, that you can realistically grind at without griefing the shit out of yourself. And it used to not be like that. And I think that I hate it. I don't like it very much. I'm just being honest, guys. I know that I'm gonna get flamed for this in my comment section on YouTube, but like, I don't like it. I don't like the direction that they went in with their grinding thing. It was fun to test out for a little while, and it was cool, like a shake up on how grinding worked. But like I said it back then, I said I don't think this is a good idea because I think it hurts the sandbox aspect of the game. I think that if a ninja that has really low gear score wants to do Gif and Raza, like if like a 600 gear score ninja wants to try to do Gif and Raza, why can't he? Why not? Why can't a super gamer take off all of his armor and grind there, right? Or take off his AP and grind there? Like I feel like you're hurting your game by doing that. And then I also think that it kind of takes the fun out of progressing. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but like at least before when the number went up, you could feel a difference in the grind speed. Right?
With Agris being efficient.
Like I don't maybe it's just me, but like when I was grinding Darkseeker's Retreat before, like, and I would get gear gains, like I could see a difference in the silver per hour that I was making. Now I get like a really big gear gain and or like you get a bunch of gear and like nothing, there's no difference. You don't go any faster. And like that just feels really bad. It feels like shit. It feels like shit. And like I gave it an honest effort. I did. I gave it an honest effort. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Opinion on BDO adding a system like Rift Greater Rift from Diablo 3. I don't know the Rift Greater Rift system from Diablo 3. I did play Diablo 3, but only temporarily. Like I played it for like, I don't know, 15 hours. When the number goes up, you just change spots. You can't do the current one faster. Exactly. The number goes up and you have to go to the new grind zone. And then you're stuck at it. If you don't like that new grind zone, you're stuck there until you get another gear grind and gear gain. And that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. Like it does not feel very good. Anyway, that's just how I feel about it. I don't know how other people feel about it, but like, that's how I feel about the new grinding change.
And we'll talk a little bit about that because this is the first part right here. But
what up, Cultivator? How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, so let's go through this post.
Comment above. Now height number is useless as your favorite monster zone. Now more tanky as before you have gear score and you grind slower. True. I also feel like the grind, like they made the mobs like way tankier at some of the grind zones and it just felt like way worse to grind at them. And like, although they've worked at like fixing that, it's still, I think that we've just kind of adjusted to it, right? Like it used to be like we used to kill mobs a lot faster and it used to feel better, but like it feels worse now. devs can't help but put content nobody wants. The game really took a turn with Land of the Morning Light, where they invested massive resources into content with zero replayability. I think that there is replayability in like boss blitz content and stuff, but like it's once a week, right? It's like 20 minutes. It's rough, you know. Maybe ruining your game kills it. Guys, I'm not trying to... I have made a concerted effort this time to not try to doom on BDO like a crazy
I
amount.
recently got
I'm
carried
being
on
honest, though.
enhancements, and I was kinda excited to change the grind zone to like Dekia 2 Ash, but hungers are on orbit, so the best spot is Tungrad, an event with 200 AP above the cap. I grind with the same speed and it's ass. The AP cap sucks.
He's right. He's right. He is so right.
Post. Well, I just wanted to give my 2 cents on what I think the current state of the game is. Disclaimer, it's completely subjective. Yeah, of
I'm at my 300th hour on Zephyros and it still feels good. So you're somebody that is in the top 1% of the 1% and will play the game no matter what and don't care about anything else. That's great. But I will tell you this, that Zethian is also a top 1% of the 1%er, and he threatened to quit. So there's some truth to this. There's some truth to this.
course it's subjective, but I feel like
He did say if they add any more weekly gated content, he's done.
most of his points or their points, I feel like hits pretty close to a lot of people.
Yeah, that guy is sitting on his bed. His name is Gaming in Bed TV.
I see a few problems in the gameplay loop at the moment.
The new
So
AP
number 1,
caps and non-stop tower spots are just a way for PA to balance the game in the laziest way possible, as in make everyone perform more or less the same.
Yep. I agree. And I think that's super boring. I would way rather have, like, I liked it the way we had it, where, like, Nova had a really good spot to grind, Lon had a really good spot to grind, Dark Knight had a really good spot to grind. Everybody had, like, a better or worse spot to grind at, but it was really your option. You could kind of go to, like, a wide variety of areas and just kind of make it work, right? Now we all go to the same areas and we all make the exact same silver per hour regardless. Like,
this is a pretty big one. AP caps. BDO, it's been always such a grind, but at least you were grinding to become more efficient at the spot and go around doing circles faster, which in return translated into more trash loot and more chance of getting rare drops. Nowadays, with AP caps, that is not a thing anymore. Even if they were removed, 90% of the in-game spots are towers, so instead of respawning, limiting you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're kind of limited.
yeah, kind of what I just said. Kind of what I just said right there is basically exactly that.
On the respawn time of the mobs. The fix being expand your rotation or taking 2 rotations now. There's no fix. Suck it up. Sure, they want to make sure people is where they should be, which I'm sorry, it makes no sense. Should be something that we can choose.
Yep.
Yeah. And when they, was it last year or whenever they talked about this in the previous ball about them changing this, that was my biggest fear of like, how would this feel?
I'll be honest with you. Somebody said, somebody in chat just said, if a good percent of creators share this experience, it's really bad for the game. I'm curious how many content creators are in Blue Squadron's boat right now, but don't want to say it because they'll get removed from the partner program. I'm genuine, or they feel like their career would be at risk. I'm genuinely curious how many of them are just going through the motions of playing the game every day, but aren't actually enjoying Black Desert anymore right now. Because it's, you know, weekly gated, whatever. And I would say all of them. I would say it's probably, I don't know, I've been watching most of the creators pretty closely recently to see kind of where people's headspace is at. I'm pretty good at gauging this. I think it's most of the creators. I think the only thing keeping a lot of the creators invested right now is AOS. And I think a lot of the reason that a lot of them are doing more AOS is because there's nothing else to do, right?
This with the AP caps, it kind of gives you a little bit more of a direction of like, okay, once I hit this certain spot.
Like I did my weekly gated stuff today, guys, and I'm like, all right, rest of the week I can do where winds meet. I don't know how everybody else feels, but I'm like, I can keep up with BDO in about 15
just
minutes.
resubscribed for 13 months.
It's like I'm playing a gacha game, but worse. Genshin Impact has its players log in and actively play the game more than Black Desert Online players do in 2025. Because in Genshin Impact, it's dailies. In BDO, it's weeklies.
I'm going to be in maybe
Cobra and Server, welcome back for 13 months, man.
Like,
Appreciate you.
these 5 to 10 grind spots. And then when I get more AP, then I'll be in the next tier of grind spots. And I get that. Kind of gives you some direction. But me personally, I just don't really like that. Like, I like how they made Agris efficient, and that's great. I feel like they maybe could have done that in a different but better way. But with
Agris needs to be removed, and everything needs to be Agris all the time. It used to be that Agris was a way to help players that couldn't grind all the time keep up with players that could grind all the time. Now it's such a deterrent from grinding that it actively dissuades people from grinding when they don't have Agris, and that's not supposed to be what Agris is supposed to be about. That's just the
AP caps. So now, and it's, you know,
I will not grind without it. Yeah, that's how it is.
some spots have already had AP caps on there, but what they really,
Do you think species damage will make grinding a spot better again? No, because they've capped all of that. All of it is capped now. You can't do anything about it. But oh, you mean returning species damage? I think that they just need to return it to what it was before. They're not going to do that. But like, if they just increased, I think what would help is if they increased the amount that you could overstack AP on a grind zone. If you could go over AP by like 100 on a grind zone and see like gains 100 AP over the cap before it started hard throttling you, I think that you would have a much wider diversity in where you could actually
My
grind in
video
Black
gameplay
Desert.
looks like log in for daily login, log out, go play literally anything else.
Yeah. So like I think that like if it just increased it, like now right now it's like 15 to 20. If they just increase the gap of like being able to grind at a grind zone without getting hard throttled by like 100 AP, like literally 100, then you would be able to grind not 2 or 3 locations, but like 5 to 10. And like that would be, or like 5 to 8. And that would be a lot better for people. And you would still see gains. Like you would be able to go back to your same grind zone and see increase in silver per hour. And people would like that.
kind of messed up.
Warrior or Musa? Musa. Now all right, do you love anime? Do you jack off to hentai or normal porn more? Are you gay?
Up was they took away, or they capped.
The only one that made the tourney fun to watch. I don't think that that's fair to say. I think that Armin made the tournament really fun to watch too, right? I think that Norelio does a solid job. And I think that the other partners, I think, did their best. But they are not shoutcasters, right? How many BDO personalities do you know that can really make a tournament entertaining? Would you choose, like most of our Black Desert category, to shoutcast a tournament? Would you put them in charge of a League of Legends match and have them shoutcast? Would that be a match that you would watch? Is them shoutcasting a League of Legends match? Probably not. It's just not in their personality. So what Pearl Abyss did was they took people that don't have the charisma to do that. Their content brand is something completely different, right? And they pushed them into a role that they're not prepared for and don't understand. And they said, go,
100.
right? Pearl Abyss, the reason that all the tournament has been kind of a disaster from a production value standpoint is because Pearl Abyss. Oh, I've just damned them. Oh, I've just damned them. I don't know how we didn't come up with this sooner. Pearl Abyss literally didn't want to put any... Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, they're so cooked. Okay, anyway, they didn't want to put forth any effort into their tournament. They wanted the lowest budget tournament of all time, and they got it.
Rest of Q4.
Like, that's all it is. Like, they just straight up did not want to add any amount of production value or effort to it at all. They basically, all they did for it, and it's like the lowest effort shit from the CMGM team. And again, it comes from the top. It's not like Etsu or Corruption or Lemuria or Enclave or Ronin. It's not their fault. It's their higher ups, right? They put the throttle. They're like, okay, you have $50 to put on the best tournament of all time. Good luck. Okay. And like, what are they supposed to do? That being said, like they basically put together a bracket. They had people sign up. They randomized a bracket, and that was it. That is all they had to do.
Months.
It was maybe, as somebody that has put on much larger tournaments than this, like way larger tournament than this, for a multi-trillion-dollar company, what Pearl Abyss had to do to set up for the Masterclass tournament is a nothing burger compared to what my team and I had to do for the best in class or best in guild tournament for Throne of Liberty. right? Like they basically made a bracket, and then they had a tournament director. They had like one CM in the arena for each thing, and they just had people join the arena and hit go. That's it. Nothing crazy. I mean, shit, I've had my own moderators. Kiwi ran my tournaments in the past in BDO. They know how to do that. Multirix knows how to do that in Throne and Liberty. It's the same basic principle. It's the same thing, right? It's not particularly hard necessarily, right? It's supposed to keep the production moving though. At least Malta and Lucy and them and Note and them, they had to actually keep up, and Senior Chief Dragon had to keep up with me because I'm the production team. And so they had a production to like work alongside with and go with. They don't even have that. It's just like, just hit go when you're ready. You know, there's literally nothing. There's literally, you're just putting people on the teams and hitting go. That's it. That's it. I mean, barely, it's a joke. It's a joke. There's not overtime required for it. It's not insane. There's no production value. It's like the lowest effort bullshit crap that Perlibus could possibly have done. This was lower effort for them than the Best in Guild tournament any year that they've done it. Because the Best in Guild tournament required more productions and coordination. They also, I remember when they used to rent the production for the Best in Guild tournament out, like the early rounds of the Best in Guild tournament, I put on whole productions for it. I took it super seriously. I put on whole ass productions for it on their behalf. Okay. I put on their whole Wusa Open. It was all me. I did all of that. Pretty sure it was the Wusa one. I did all of that. I put on the whole goddamn tournament, the production, all of it with their assets. But they didn't even want to do that this time because they're lazy and they don't want to put up the money. And to be honest with you, that's why No Pearl November is a thing. I'm getting ready to say No Pearl December at this point. Y'all keep running your mouths. Keep going. You're gonna get no money. You're gonna get literally no money. I bet honestly the player base as it stands right now, I'm pissed about it. But like I'm like a more dramatic, expressive, extroverted version of what the community is normally thinking on things. The community, in a lot of cases, lives vicariously through me crashing the out on Pearl Abyss. Although you guys don't crash out on Pearl Abyss, you guys just play the game, you're chilling. But there are things that the game that frustrate you. I express those things in a much more emotional way, right? And you guys live vicariously through me doing that because you don't want to put forth that effort, and I respect that. But like, I'm feeling like shit about the game right now. And if I am over here like, well, then I just won't spend any money. I cannot be the only one. I cannot be the only person in the community that's like, well, it then. I'm just not going to spend any money on the game. If they're not going to listen to anything, like, there's just no way, bro. Like, new code, No Pearl November. So true, brother. Werewolves meet here to save you from the darkness. Yeah. PoE 2 shirt based. Yeah, I love PoE 2. I'm waiting for Druid to come out, bro. 50 days clean from BDO. Well, I don't want people to quit the game necessarily, but stop spending money, yes. Like, that's the only way they're going to learn.
Or got rid of like the species damage. So as before, you could stack species damage and really be a lot more efficient on potentially getting more trash loot, right? And so they took away that, and that's what really kind of stung. But it just doesn't make sense, especially with BDO having a lot of sandbox elements, kind of giving you that freedom, that progression to choose. Now you're not allowed that freedom. You're kind of locked into these certain spots. And
exactly what I said.
With the AP caps, again, you're kind of
and have been saying for months.
The certain grind spots. And it just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel all that great. And it just doesn't make sense because when you have say you have a person who has like a total AP of 1500, right? And then you have another person who has a total AP of 900. It would make sense, like say you go to a grind spot that has like, say the recommended total AP of 900, right? It would make sense that the 1500 AP person would pull more trash. But how it currently is now, essentially both people make the same amount of trash. So it really just limits that.
I'm sorry. I'm reading ahead here. Yeah, it used to be, so this guy's talking about group grind zones, right? It used to be Sawson's, Pirate, Bastion, Wargon's next, Paddocks, Upper Gryphon, Turos, Schultz, Olins, Elvia, Castle Ruins, Elvia Imps, Miramuk, Mirawak's Labyrinth. And now you have Dekia 2, Dekia 1 Olins is trolling yourself, and then you have Nolans. I love I like Nolans is good.
that power aspect. And it also just, it kind of limits your ability to go explore and play those other grind spots. So yeah, that part of it kind of stinks. I mean, there's pros and cons. I'm kind of leaning to being a little bit more neutral now. Like at first I hated it. Now I'm kind of like, because I am making more silver than what I was before the change. But at the same time, I wish I could go back to other grind spots and still do them if I wanted to and not feel like I'm being griefed. Party spots. Back in the day, you would have a choice. Want to grind in a party? Nathan, Turos, Schultz, Olins, Castle Ruins, Elvia, Imps. Yeah, I'm sure I'm missing some of them. Nowadays, they give you one option. Olins, D2. D1 is trolling yourself. They hit way too hard and they get barely any money. Nolans, on the other hand, is only relevant if you wanted the merchant ring.
Okay, so is he just gonna read this?
And like for me, that's what I did. Like I hated enhancing, and I still hate it.
Okay, I'm gonna skip to his analysis of this post. I want to hear what he has to say about this post, because this post we've already talked a lot. It's talking about the Agris, right? We've talked a lot about Agris. You guys know my thoughts on this. He's I'm sure, like, I want to see what his thoughts on the whole thing are. Group grind zones, weekly gated shit, progression system, Agris, all this stuff. I want to hear his thoughts.
Feels bad, and you never feel strong. Kind of.
Here we go.
Some of the community members from BDO, because the combat looks pretty good. I mean, it's not like another upcoming game where the wind meets. That.
Dude, I swear to God, this is not pre-watched, bro. I swear to God, this is not pre-watched, man. I was trying to react to a BDO video, bro. I like straight up. I'm trying to be a good boy. I'm trying to be a good boy. Like, bro, this is crazy, dude. Somebody recommended this video to me. It's not me. It's not my fault, okay? Look at his face. Look at his face. He's like, that game looks pretty good.
It looks really interesting. It's not a fully blown MMO. It's kind of like a hybrid of like solo.
You could say that BDO is not a full-blown MMO.
And MMO elements and a bunch of other different elements.
I love it when people say that it's not an MMO, because I'm like, yes, that's right. It's not an MMO. It just has dungeons, raids, RP content. You can play with people in town, and there's PvP, there's guilds, there's large-scale PvP. But it's not an MMO.
They're going to have like raids and PvP. So that looks really interesting. We'll have to see how that game kind of turns out, because that could take a good portion.
Yeah, the reason why it's not MMO is because if they say the word MMO, the game will lose 30 million players. Because that's how MMOs work normally.
Of some of the community members from BDO, because the combat looks pretty good. I mean, it's not like BDO, but it is kind of similar. It's an action-based combat.
It's like more like Naraka than anything else, but it's action combat based enough that I think that BDO players would really like it.
That
I don't know though. We'll have to see what it feels like
with parrying and whatnot. So. And I don't know if there's any. I feel like there's a few more games probably coming out.
How could you forget about Aeon 2? The Black Desert Killer. I mean, isn't everyone going to play Aeon 2 when it comes out? What a super hype game. Garbage.
Well, there's been quite a few games that have been coming out, and I know that's been
Aeon who?
Kind of the top priority for people of playing rather than playing BDO, which again, I think those people who aren't playing BDO, like actively, they're just passively playing AFK fishing and playing other games. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like the upcoming game to watch out for is going to be Where the Wind Meets, and we'll have to see how that.
He doesn't even know the name of the game. He's like, that Where the Tips Meet game. That might be a good game right there.
How that looks. And yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna release this video. I might release this video probably after Where the Wind Meets.
Okay, so he recorded this, so he released it a day ago, but he recorded this like at least a week ago. And that's why, again, the Steam charts looked so different. I was gonna say, because like I don't feel like we've lost 1% a day, but we have lost about 1.5% this week. Right, so he must have recorded it at least a few days ago. So the guy's like, oh, people aren't off work. Yeah, coping. So he recorded this a few days ago, and that's why, again, it has been declining. I've been watching it.
Or maybe I'll try to release it before. Yeah, because I already have it. Anyway, just thinking out loud. Let's look at some of the comments. The gearing and AP caps really killed my fun. I don't feel powerful anymore. When you reach cap, you just move on to the next spot and start over again. It's not a good feeling when you...
This is really reassuring to me, because this is basically saying what I was saying before. I feel the exact same way.
finally get an upgrade.
And I'm an endgame player, bro.
That doesn't translate to more efficiency on a spot. And I totally agree. They just want you to swipe. There is no world where regular people can make meaningful progress in a reasonable amount of time. Small AP jumps can take months. And at that point, the average player will move on to a new game when they realize it feels like you're being punished for progressing. And the only way around is to swipe the card. And I don't know why people are still allowed to sell that worst fishing rod. It's so
Is anyone going to be joining one of the RP, I can date women, I can date multiple women, or I can marry somebody faction? Because I was thinking our Aki said yes, and then Zaz says yes. Do any of you not have a penis? Lyrovex has a penis. I was just wondering if anybody doesn't have a penis, hit me up. I'm gonna need a wife.
scummy. Yeah, that is so scummy. And
Honestly, if you're willing to RP a little bit, it's not a deal breaker. I think that my profile is going to read seeking female companionship, female optional. I think it's fair.
And small AP jumps. It is kind of nice. So when you get, I think it's like whatever, 310 AP, when you do get like 1 AP gain, it gives you like +8. I believe it's +8 monster AP. So that is kind of nice. So the small AP gains actually feels a little bit more relevant now because you do get more monster AP. So it translates you becoming more powerful. However, yes, that limits your ability to go back to previous grind spots and to see, oh, can I pull like maybe an extra 500 trash now? No, because you can't. You can't. You can only move forward. If you try to go backwards, you're only griefing yourself. Whereas before, you could still make decent money. I mean, at the end of the day, you were always able to make more money for the most
Who names themselves on YouTube Dr. Gooner?
part at the higher grind spots. But you could at least
Dr.
make
Gooner.
decent money at the other grind spots. Capped AP is like scaling all enemies in a game to your level. Unless the game is really tuned
He's
with
for real,
that
for real.
and you never feel strong.
Love the for real shit that we've got going on now. Although it hasn't updated in the YouTube video, those people watching on YouTube, that for real emote has not updated yet. And I don't think I can get it to update. Listen, maybe I do this. I don't know. It'll probably update in the future, but goddamn, bro, I love the new for real emote.
I agree.
For
Everything
just like
they've
me.
done in the last 18 months has been
Guys, I feel like we're younger now as a community. We're not 30-year-olds anymore because we're using like the hip with it, like catchphrases, like for real.
designed to squeeze more cash out of the addicted players. The game absolutely sucks
It
right
makes you younger.
now.
Yeah, the lingo.
Get your crons. get
No
your
cap
crons.
on God,
It's so
true.
crazy too, like because they give us so many free crons too. Like I think this upcoming event or this current event that we have, or just even if I don't even think it's an event, you just like literally log in and they're giving you like 4,500 free crons.
Well, the next thing we're gonna add is 67. I still have no idea what that's. Just a number. I don't know.
AP hard cap is really BS, and I completely agree with you. It makes my progression pointless in a MMORPG.
Oh, it's 67. Oh, it's 67. I thought it was 67. Yeah, f it. Who gives a shit?
Point of being strong in a MMORPG, in my opinion, is to improve gear and level up, just so I can destroy the old monsters that are super difficult and tanky. It makes me feel powerful.
I don't give a
It
shit,
just makes you
bro.
feel good.
I don't have my brain rotted enough to.
You can one-shot the mobs. Nowadays, with the AP cap, I just feel no difference. When I improve my gear, like, what? I'm still the level 1 you say? The game went from being moderately fun, where you could do what you wanted and feel like you were at least slowly moving forward, be it by earning silver through life skills or grinding, to having gear targets that are pretty much unreachable for 90% of the population. It's not a game anymore. I'm amazed more people don't see it. Then again, I'm not actually, because people are addicted without realizing it. Yeah, they've invested so much time running in circles, grinding for silver, and pointless virtual treasure items that they've lost track of the reality. And the saddest thing is PA are exploiting the sweetness to its fullest, yet all these victims are happily throwing even more money and time at the company just so they can stay afloat. I went from logging in daily to all my dailies, guild quests, guild bosses, grinding, AFK fishing, and then I was logging in 5 times per week, then 3, and I barely bothered to log in that one day for guild bosses. Might just leave the guild soon as it's all pointless, to be honest.
I think that's where a lot of players are at. I went from logging in daily, doing all of my salies, my guild quests, my guild bosses, grinding, etc., and then to AFK fishing. Then I was logging in 5 times per week. Now it's 3. Then it was 3. Now I barely log in. Now I can barely be bothered to log in for 1 day for guild bosses. Might just leave the guild soon because it's all pointless, to be honest. So sad, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
That's where it's at.
I don't know.
That is exactly the arc that I was talking about back in June when I made that video about how people quit BDO and how much AFK time. It's just like you start AFKing more and more and more, and then you just stop logging in
me
altogether.
personally, it's almost like my meditation.
Maybe we should just go play old school RuneScape. I'm gonna be honest. If Where Winds Meet tanks, guys, it might be a old school RuneScape arc because maybe there's something to that dog shit piss water MMO that people keep talking about, bro.
Late at night, it's like my time to just kind of unwind. And I don't know why, but I'd rather grind 1 hour than sit on like social media and just scroll.
I would go to WoW first. I probably would.
Like for me, like I never get on.
I was thinking that I might just do Lost Arks, you know, because that's like a good thing to do for a week. I'll probably just bang all that shit out, one tap all the raids and shit because they're super easy. Bang that shit out in like a week or two, you know.
Any of the like the social media apps to begin with. But yeah, I think for me, like my escape or like my meditation is just to grind for 1 hour and just to kind of chill, maybe watch like a TV show while I grind. I definitely can't do more than 1 hour though, because then I start to fall asleep. But yeah, I think for me, it's just more of a way to
low-key rage baiting. I actually was thinking that Lost Ark or Warframe. I think that the Warframe devs got really upset with me on the sponsor, and it's dissuaded me from playing the game. But I actually did have fun playing it, so I kind of wanted to play more of it. So if Where Winds Meet absolutely ends up being something that, you know, we don't like, it's either Warframe or Lost Ark probably is what I'm going to try. Play Lost Ark till Lost Ark 2 kills it. Yeah, well, we'll see.
just unwind.
What about PoE 2? Yeah, when Druid comes out, I can finally jack off to a bear.
At the end of the day,
In game.
and maybe that's the addiction, right? That like that's my addiction, whereas other people's addiction is like scrolling through social media.
Mm-hmm.
I miss video every day, but I'm glad I finally clicked on uninstall, and I've just stayed away. Just clicked to me one day. Why am I doing this? It doesn't respect our time, and the pay to win is actually worse now. Sadly, I don't hate the game, but I hate the state of it.
Po 2 has next league coming out sometime in December.
Yeah, I hope so. Note DM me and was like, yo, payday coming your way. PoE 2 league coming out December. I was like, oh, baby. I hope so. I'm hoping to see Druid, bro. I miss BDO every day, but I'm glad I finally clicked on install and I have stayed away from it. It just clicked to me one day. Why am I doing this? It doesn't respect your time. And the pay to win is actually worse now. Sadly, I don't hate the game, but I hate the state of it. I think this sentence pretty much sums it up. Very well said, Practical Dog 3454. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the whole pay to win aspect, but at the end of the day, like it is so pointless to throw that amount of money to this game because
feels like Anfield. Anfield's not even playing BDO anymore, is my understanding. Sorry, I'm going to skip to the end here. I want to hear his closing thoughts on this.
and I don't know when I'm gonna release this video, so yeah. But I'm gonna give that game a shot and play it, and I'm probably gonna do.
There's no way he's still talking about Where Winds Meet. There's just no way. Stop.
Yeah, I feel like these are all big concerns, and I feel like they really need to be addressed in the next ball. They probably won't be though, because it is typical PA. I don't know.
God damn. True.
But yeah, so let me know your thoughts down in the comments of like what you think of the current state of the game. Are you playing at this moment? Are you just AFK fishing? Are you just doing 1 hour a day and then chilling after that? Are you looking forward to any?
I want to know how many active hours a day people are playing. No. I don't want to know, are you playing BDO? I want to know how many active hours a day people are playing BDO. Fuck that. How many active hours in a week are you playing? How many total hours in a week are you playing? Total hours per week right now. 86 hours in a week. 50 hours. 0, 0, 3, 0, 0. I quit. 0, 0. How many are my kick viewers? There's also Swords of Justice that just released. I don't think 0, 0, 8, 1 to 2.5, around 4 to 5, 14 to 21, 5 active max. About 28 hours, 0. I quit, 0. Okay, yeah. So you guys see the average here? The average is pretty low. And those are my viewers. Guys, we look bad right now. 8 all weekend. Vessel based. Vessel, I miss you, bro. We miss you. All right, guys. I'm going to give you guys this video here.